Hello, I'm Lori Whalen, the Assistant Director of the Environmental Nature Center, and I'm going to talk to you today about seed balls or seed bombs. I'm going to say seed balls because bombs make me sad. We kind of discourage them, and I'll tell you why. 3 reasons. 1, when you're doing this with people, it's super fun, but it's really hard to impart to them the importance of making sure that when they're doing it away from you, that they use locally native plants. So definitely, if you're going to be doing them, you want to do your research and you want to make sure that the plants you're using are locally native. 2, location is kind of an issue. If you're making them here with us at the Environmental Nature Center, you are absolutely allowed to toss them here, assuming of course you're using locally native seed, which we'll have approved. And you're also welcome to take them home and toss them in your garden, but it's actually unethical to toss them anywhere else, like in a wilderness area or any other place that is managed by another land manager. The 3rd reason is viability. When you make a seed ball, generally the seeds are going to get wet. And what happens to seeds when they get wet? They wake up and they want to grow. So if you're tossing a seed ball, just make sure that you're doing it right before it's about to rain or while it's raining, and that way the seeds have a better chance of growing. If you're not going to do that, if you're just doing this for fun, make sure that you toss them immediately after and don't let the balls dry first. I'm going to show you my method for doing it, which is super simple. Normally, I would actually get a shovel out and dig soil from the ground and get it wet, but I already had some potting soil, which was just the perfect level of moisture, not too wet, not too dry, so that you can use it like clay. So I'll just grab a little handful. It's actually like, this is a super fun activity just to play with dirt, because it's an opportunity to encourage people just to get dirty. Look at that perfect little roll of dirt. No big deal, right? Little dirt on your hands never killed anyone. And I have 3 little plates of seeds here. When you do use the seeds, don't ever use them in the bags. Take them out and know that all of the seeds that you're going to take out, you're going to use or toss into the habitat, because you can't put them back in. They're either going to be wet and then get other seeds wet, which, as you know, encourages them to grow, or they're going to be contaminated in some other way. Even just the oils from touching them could actually make them not viable. So you're going to sort of just coat them. You can use a bigger container so that you can roll them a little bit. Coat them in the seeds. You're getting the seeds on there. And then this happens to be lupin, phacelia, and poppy. Then you can sort of just squish them in a little bit better. Make sure you do this close to where you're going to want the seeds to go. And then toss it immediately. Don't let it dry. If you let it dry again, the seeds will get wet and then think they're going to grow and then start growing internally and then be disappointed and not make it. So that's kind of a bummer. Thank you so much for wanting to help spread native plants by tossing seed balls, but I will let you know that there are lots of alternatives to spreading native plants in that way. One obviously is by just tossing the seeds directly into the habitat, which works pretty well as long as, like I said earlier, it's about to rain or it's raining currently. If not, you're providing birds with bird food, which is lovely, but not really the point of the activity. You want to plant a plant when it's going to grow and provide bird seed for birds indefinitely. Another method, of course, as you know, is to put seed in a soil in a pot, grow to a size where it can be planted in the ground, and then proceed with taking care of it, because it's obviously not going to be used to being in the ground as a seed would have been growing in the ground. But know that if you do that in a place, in a natural wilderness area, you could potentially be bringing pathogens in with the soil. So doing something like that is totally great if you're doing it in your house, in your yard, or someplace like the Environmental Nature Center. So the 3rd alternative is to put cuttings in soil, which isn't as good as putting seeds directly in soil because it's less diverse. Cuttings are generally just a clone of the plant you're taking it from. But it's cool because it's fun and you're not wasting when you've trimmed something, and you have a pretty good chance of it growing if it's a wetland type species like willow or mulefat. If you're wondering how to tell if a species is locally native, my favorite website to check it up on is calflora.org. So go to calflora.org. If you have any questions whatsoever, always feel free to contact me. Thank you so much for listening.